Hello students of class 8, welcome to the online tutorial classes for Vidya Bhavan High Secondary School. This video is for class 8 biology and the chapter that I will going to continue is the transportation of the food and minerals in plants. This video is part 4. In the previous video I discussed about the absorption of the minerals, and in this video first we are going to discuss about the differences, because in last video we discussed about the diffusion and the active transport. So here we are going to discuss about the differences between diffusion and active transport, and the differences between osmosis and diffusion. So let's check.
Now we are going to discuss about the differences between osmosis and diffusion. So we already know that the osmosis is the process by which the water is absorbed by the root, and by the diffusion the minerals absorbed. So the first differences between the osmosis and the diffusion is the osmosis is the movement of water molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from a region of their higher concentration to a region to their lower concentration. And the diffusion, it is the movement of the salt and the mineral molecules from a region of their higher concentration to a region to their lower concentration. The second point is the osmosis takes place only in a liquid medium, but the diffusion can take place at any medium such as solid, liquid, gas, any of them. The third point of osmosis is it requires a semi-permeable membrane, but for the diffusion it does not require any semi-permeable membrane. The osmosis is a slow process, but comparatively the diffusion is the faster process in gases, slow in liquids. The second difference is between the diffusion and the active transport. Here, the diffusion is the movement of the molecules or ions of a substance from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration. But the active transport is the movement of the ion of a substance from their lower concentration region to their higher concentration region using energy. So these are just opposite reactions. The diffusion is the movement of solute or solvent molecules, but the active transport is the movement of ions, no water. In the diffusion, there need no energy to do this diffusion, but for the active transport, the cell energy is needed in the form of ATP, that means the adenosine triphosphate. The next is the diffusion. It occurs through a non-living permeable membrane, but the active transport occurs through a living selectively permeable membrane. These are the differences between the diffusion and active transport.
So we already learned the differences between the differences of osmosis and diffusion, as well the diffusion and active transport. In the next topic of that we are going to learn, it is the transportation of water and minerals. The transportation of water and minerals, that is the Ascent of Sap. Okay, so let's discuss it with the picture and with the steps.
Now we are going to discuss about the transport of the water and minerals, that is Ascent of Sap. So here you can see the ascent of sap in plants due to the transportation pool picture has been given. So something are also pointed out in here. So let's discuss them first. Here the roots absorb water through the soil by the osmosis. The root pressure pushes up sap toward the stem. The water column is sustained in xylem by the cohesion between water molecules, and the transportation of water vapor from stomata exerts a pull on the water column in the xylem that draws up sap. So, the transportation of water and minerals in a plant occurs in some steps. That is, the root hair cells absorb mineral salts mainly by active transport. The mineral salts then reach the root cortex. After that, the root hair cells also absorb water from the soil through the osmosis. Next, as mineral salts get accumulated in the xylem, the water concentration gets reduced in it, and this creates a concentration gradient that is strong enough to draw water and minerals to move toward the stem. The pressure developed in the roots due to the continuous inflow of water helps in pushing the plant sap upwards. It is called the root pressure. Further on, the water moves through the xylem up the stem and then to the leaves. This happens due to the pool created by the transpiration. It is called the transpiration pool that we have already discussed in the previous video. The water and minerals absorbed by root are conducted upward through xylem to other plant parts such as the stem, leaves, and flowers. This upward movement of cell sap, which contains water and minerals, are called the ascent of sap. So, the loss of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata and leaves or other aerial parts of the plant is called transpiration, that I already told you. The upward movement of water and the minerals from the roots to the aerial parts to a plant against gravitational force is called the ascent of sap. It is the definition of the ascent of sap. The cell sap is the fluid containing mineral salts and water enclosed in the vacuole of a cell. So it is all about the ascent of sap in plants due to the transpiration pool.
So I am ending the video with the knowledge of the transportation of water and minerals, and the next video we are going to discuss about the transportation and the absorption. Transpiration and the absorption, and the factors affecting it, factors affecting the rate of the transpiration. Till then, thank you.